Bella Rega, and welcome back to my channel. So here where I live, there is a large Italian grocery store called Mazzaro's. The owner, around Christmas every year, imports a very large form of provolone cheese from Italy. And by large, I mean gigantic. Last year it weighed over 900 pounds, as you can see in this clip.
There we go.
As most of you might have realized by my thick accent, I am Italian, so I feel very close to their community. Every year I see them struggling to find an appropriate cutting tool for such a large form of cheese, even though they always do an incredible job since they're highly skilled professionals. So last year I proposed the general manager to build a specific Mezzaluna for the events to come. They were very excited about the idea. So a couple of months ago, we finalized all the details so I could start as soon as possible. Well, the moment finally came. So let me take you through my journey of building what I'm going to call the big cheese. Dai tutti, let's go. So this is the design I came up with. It's a lot longer than the one they currently have, as you can see in this picture. It is 22 inches cutting edge, measured linearly, 32 inches overall, and it has a curvature of 36 inches radius. Initially, I wanted to cut the curvature from a larger blank and proceed all by stock removal, but unfortunately, since the company that makes the steel that I chose has closed, it's very difficult to find the appropriate size that I needed. So the only thing that I could find is 2 inches wide. Therefore, I will have to light the forge and bend it hot, which is going to be nerve-wracking since this is quite expensive. The steel that I chose is CPM Magna Cut from Crucible, which is now defunct. The reason why I chose this material is because it holds an incredible edge retention and toughness as well, which is very important because they're going to put a lot of force in cutting such a large form of cheese. It also holds an incredible corrosion resistance, which is important in a situation where many people are going to alternate in using the tool, and it's always difficult in those situations to track who is going to clean it, who's going to oil it. So it needs to be very much stainless, even though the cheese is not the problem, it's more the maintenance. So let's start cutting the handles first, because initially I wanted to bend the whole bar and then cut the handles and drill them, but knowing this material is going to be impossible to cut and drill after the forging. So I'm going to have to cut the handles, drill the pinholes, and then bend the bar. Wish me luck. All right, if you straighten this curvature into a straight line, the length comes out to 22¾ inches, so I marked that. And then from those points of reference, I marked the handles. I had to modify slightly the shape of the handles because the bar is not wide enough to accommodate this wide shape. So I straightened it a little bit and it looks pretty good anyway. I marked the position of the pinholes roughly. I still have to mark the height. Now I'm going to cut the handles and then refine them, and then I'm going to mark the height of the pinholes. Alright, so the forge is on, and I'm going to utilize this spring leaf as a swage to give the curvature to the Mezzaluna. Just so happens that this spring leaf is the same radius, actually a little more, which is not bad. Actually, it's good. And I put these blocks of wood just to avoid excessive relaxation. I clamped the ends so they're nice and stable, but I noticed that the percussive action would make them slide a little bit, so I put these blocks underneath so it shouldn't move. I'm going to use the weight of the Mezzaluna itself to bend it over or turn it over. It's the more appropriate term, to turn. And if it needs a little more persuasion, I'm going to use the swagger and hammer it down gently so I don't mar the steel. So let's go. Harder than I expected, so when I have to resort to the old methods. So this is the knife fully ground. I decided to forego the fuller because it is quite narrow for such a large cheese knife. The smaller ones, they're at least 3/4 of an inch higher, so shouldn't have a lot of friction going down. Plus I put a nice finish, so it should glide in the cheese nice and easily. I also rounded the spine, I rounded the choils, so if they slide in while cutting the cheese, they're not going to get hurt on sharp corners. Yeah, and this is a knife, and this is how much material came off of it. So I'm going to do the handles, and then we're done. I think I'm going to make a nice stand for it, so when they don't use it for the annual event, they're going to have it sit on a nice stand in the office, and that's it. I should have received also the stencil with their company logo and my new logo. So that's going to be exciting as well, and let's keep going. All right, I'm going to electro etch the logo of the store that I'm making this for. Right, so I'm going to mark the handles, and then I'm going to cut them, and then I'm going to drill the holes. The two scales are glued together with a piece of masking tape in the middle, so they won't move, but they will be easy to take off. So let's do that. All right, let's glue it up. The new epoxy I'm using is so slippery. All right, got to finish cleaning, and then we're good. I made this nice walnut stand for the knife, so it can be displayed in front of the cheese while they cut it, and also they can store it in the office when they don't use it, because they're not going to be using it the whole year, because the event is only once a year. So this is it. I have to sharpen it and clean it, and then it's going to be off to the store. Very delicately. So, yep. I'll include beauty shots, of course, at the end of the video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and maybe consider being my Patreon, so I can make better videos, because I know the quality is not the best, but well, we're trying to improve. Ciao a tutti!